Abusuya Kwahu ene the nation builder John Dramani Mahama ekopie mu Kwahu abusuya ekopie mu odwumadi bia na nwato ne dey say Kwahu business forum ase abusuya was adwumadi na say JDM the nation builder e dey say mebre tu gwa kire mu say sa Kwahu festival yi eyaye festival bi abusuya eye one of the big festival dey between the more business abrega na nti no behwe na nwa hye mu kena yentie John Dramani Mahama no masem na kire wadwen efa video yi eho
were going to be and how they were going to assist business people to be able to transform their businesses and grow their businesses. And so we contacted a few business people and they thought it was a brilliant idea. And so that is how the idea of the Kwahu Business Forum was born. But at that forum, I made a pledge that if God's favor shined on me and I became president, I will come back the next year and we'll organize the forum again, bigger and better. And that when I was coming, I was going to bring my relevant ministers, heads of institutions, banks, and everybody relevant for the growth of business. And so today, in fulfillment of that promise, I'm here with my key ministers, several heads of financial institutions and relevant agencies that can assist the private sector not only to transform but to grow. And so for me, my happiness is that the Kwahu Easter festivities is not only one for fun seekers. The perception that Ghanaians have about Kwahu Easter is to come and have fun and enjoy ourselves. But from today, Kwahu Easter is also about building businesses. It's about building the private sector. And let me say that while the forum is labeled the Kwahu Business Forum, it is just a testament of the acumen of Kwahu business people, but it is not only for Kwahu businessmen. It's open to all Ghanaian businessmen, foreigners, Ghanaians, anybody who wants to come and attend and network is invited to attend this forum. The world is changing and new opportunities are being thrown up. And we as a country must take advantage of those opportunities. From the era of the Cold War, we had the era of globalization. In all these stages, Africa continued to lose out. But I think that the opportunity is beginning to come for Africa because world geopolitics is changing. We all can take note of the trade wars that are taking place between the economically mighty countries. It is creating global shifts in terms of production, and this is the opportunity that Africa must take. And so let us shake ourselves out of the mindset that we are traders, because we can be manufacturers, we can be industrialists, we can be digital entrepreneurs, we can be agribusinessmen, we can be large-scale commercial farmers, we can be anything that we want. And so with the shift in the global geopolitics, opportunities, new opportunities are being created. And as long as the Trumpian things continue happening, it makes the world a bit more unpredictable. And the more unpredictable the world is, the more opportunity it creates for those who have been marginalized for a long time. I want to thank Nana Chairman for the comments he made about the Afram Plains. And I want to assure him that Afram Plains is in our sight in terms of its agricultural potential and agro-processing. We've labeled Afram Plains a special agro-processing zone, SAPZ. And in line with the same program that the African Development Bank is pursuing, we intend to achieve substantial funding from the African Development Bank for investment in the Afram Plains. both in terms of agriculture and agro-processing. But to be able to do that, we must first put in the infrastructure. And so under the big push, we have put the bridge at Echiamam from under the big push to construct the bridge so that we can take the ferry away. And then also we've targeted the main roads in the Afram Plains area to rehabilitate them so that it can ease doing business in the area. Let me thank both the majority and minority leader for attending. For me, it sends a signal that this is a non-partisan business forum, and that it is open to everybody, notwithstanding one's political affiliation. And my hope is that future presidents who succeed me will continue to adopt this as a forum that must continue, no matter which party is in power. But I'd like to make my last comment on the issue the minority leader raised. And it's not only him. There are several businessmen who have told me that one of the major hindrances they face in business is not even capital. It is getting trusted people to work with. If somebody comes to work for you, he thinks that your business is a platform for him also to build his business. And it's not only him who has had that experience. I've had it too. I bought a bus for a relative to run transport business so that he can look after the family at home and stop disturbing me on my small parliamentary salary. And they gave it to a driver who was a relative. Good driver though. The first thing he did was he went and put a carrier on the bus. And anytime you saw the bus had more load on top of it than in the bus. And so what happened? The axle broke down. And it was the most regrettable experience in my life. When the axle broke down, they came to me to buy a new axle. So the reason for buying the bus had been defeated. Anytime the bus broke down, they would come to me to come and repair it. And it was costing me more to repair the bus than if I had just been momoing the money to them. But you know what happened? This driver used to live in the family house. While he was driving the bus, he procured the land. He started to build a house. The house reached lintel level when the bus finally broke down. And by then I had had enough. So I refused to repair the bus and decided to dispose of it. And so I sold the bus. This was like several years, many years, more than 10 years ago. And since I sold the bus, where the building reached lintel level, it is still at lintel level even till today. And so what he says is very serious, getting trusted people to work with. And so we must look at that aspect of the restraints to industry. And I know that even some business people and industrialists are going out of, like he said, are going out of the country and bringing foreigners to come and manage their businesses. It's an indictment on our human resource. And it's something that we must begin to think about and find ways of creating a core of management that is dedicated to working to build a business. Because what they forget is as the business grows, you get better remunerated, you benefit more. But if you want to suck your pound of flesh out of the business and kill it and move on, then no industry is going to grow and survive. And so that is an issue that we need to take up so that we all can think how we can manage to create a core of Ghanaian business managers who are dedicated, who have integrity, and who will work to grow the businesses so that they survive and create more opportunities for our young people. And so those were the preliminary comments, but I have a speech here, so let me inflict it on you. I'm sorry. You have to stay a few more minutes and listen to this speech. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure for me to be here in Mpraiso in the heart of Kwahu, home to industrious and resilient people, and a place that has become a vital center for Ghana's entrepreneurial and investment dialogue. I thank the organizers of the Kwahu Business Forum for sustaining this important platform, which has quickly become a feature in our national economic conversation. This year's theme, the future of business, the role of the financial sector, could not be more relevant. The financial sector is the bloodstream of any economy. Without it, businesses cannot grow and jobs cannot be created, and innovation cannot thrive. Let me begin with the state of our economy. We are all aware of the challenges our country has faced in recent years: soaring inflation, a weakened cedi, rising debt levels, and a decline in investor confidence. These challenges have weighed heavily on businesses and households alike, but I'm confident, and I say this with sincerity, that we will turn the corner. There are early signs of macroeconomic stabilization. Inflation is gradually easing, the currency is stabilizing, and with disciplined management, we shall restore a measure of confidence in our economy. But ladies and gentlemen, recovery alone is not enough. We must now set our sights higher on transformation of the economy. We must build an economy that is resilient, inclusive, and productive. And this cannot be achieved without a financial sector that works not just for a few, but for every Ghanaian business, from the roadside vendor to the massive industrialist. Our vision for Ghana's future business landscape is bold and deliberate. We are pursuing a targeted program in restoring investor confidence by enhancing transparency, cutting bureaucratic red tape, and promoting a rules-based investment climate. We're prioritizing sectors that can absorb labor and grow our economy sustainably, like agro-processing, ICT, manufacturing, tourism, renewable energy, and the green economy. But our focus is not only on attracting foreign investment. We're equally committed to empowering Ghanaians to become owners and drivers of enterprise. And this is why this government will support the private sector not just with policy, but with decisive action. We will expand access to affordable financing through financial institutions like the commercial banks, the Ghana Development Bank, the Women's Development Bank, and partnership with other private financial institutions. We'll support small and medium enterprises with targeted financing, tax incentives, and technical support. We'll modernize infrastructure, including roads, logistics, and digital connectivity, to create an environment where businesses can thrive. We'll reduce the cost of borrowing by reforming credit systems and supporting blended finance instruments. And we'll retool the financial sector to serve the real economy, not just government borrowing or speculative trading. We also will launch a national venture capital fund to support youth and women-led businesses and introduce regulatory reforms that encourage banks and financial institutions to lend to the productive sectors of the economy. And in all this, financial inclusion will be at the heart of this agenda. No economy can grow if its people remain excluded from the formal financial systems. We'll work with banks, fintechs, and mobile money operators to expand access to financial services, particularly in rural and underserved communities. Nana Chairman, distinguished guests, the future of business in Ghana must be digital, it must be green, and it must be inclusive. We're entering an era where digital infrastructure is as important as roads and other infrastructure. As part of our 24-hour economy strategy, we'll create the conditions through reliable electricity supply, logistics, and public safety for businesses to operate around the clock. This will boost productivity, create jobs, and expand opportunities across the country. But in trying to transform our country, an important ingredient is the requirement of skills. And that's why we're introducing a Jobs and Skills Compact, bringing together government, industry, and academia to align education and training with the needs of the changing job market. We'll provide incentives to companies that create sustainable, decent jobs and support youth entrepreneurship to unlock the creativity of our young people. Our vision is of a Ghana where no young person needs to leave their hometown in search of opportunities, where our communities will become hubs of innovation, enterprise, and decent work. To truly enable business growth, we must go beyond economic policy. It requires a firm commitment to rule of law, political stability, and respect for contracts and property rights. It also requires a responsive, corruption-free public service that sees the private sector not just as a source of revenue, but as a partner in development. And that is why forums like these are important. They allow us to listen, to engage, and to co-create policies that work for us. Your insights and innovations are critical to the national reset that we have embarked upon. Ladies and gentlemen, Nana Chairman, in conclusion, the future of Ghana will not be determined by government alone. It will be determined by our ability to build partnerships between the state and private sectors, between finance and innovation, and between leadership and the people. The Kwahu Business Forum is more than just an event. It is a call to action. And so let us work together to build a Ghana that is competitive, productive, and inclusive, and a Ghana that creates opportunities for all. And so on this note, it's my honor and privilege to declare the 2025 Kwahu Business Forum duly open. Thank you, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.